So in the previous lecture we have studied about single stub matching. Now single stub matching that we have studied in the previous class has got some of the drawbacks. Like it is applicable for single frequency. For variable frequency the location of the stub is not fixed. That means from the load end from the that means from the load end the So if we see the load, now from the load end, the position of the stub, that is the distance between the stub and the load, that is also a parameter. We saw it is ls. So this is also a parameter that needs to be adjusted for single stub matching. One is this distance from load and another is the length of the stub. These are the two parameters. So if the frequency changes, with change in frequency, or if there is change in load, then we have to change the position of this stub again, because the value of ls will change. So this is not always desirable, because all the time we have to keep changing this load, this the position of the stub. Now another, so change, it is applicable for single frequency, and it is, we have to keep moving the stub all the time. So these are the two things which is a drawback. And also the location, so the location of stub is changes with frequency. If we change frequency, then location will change. Now to avoid this drawback, we use double stub matching. What happens in double stub matching is that here we introduce, you see the figure, in this figure you can see we are introducing two stubs. This is one stub, this is another stub. So two stubs are introduced. Stubs are nothing but short lengths of transmission lines, and the ends can be shorted or open. Now here one thing I would like to mention, in short and open generally the short is preferred. The reason is it is generally preferred because of its simple construction and ability to remain open of the stub. Because of its simple construction is quite simple. Now stub to remain open circuited, we can just connect the stub easily and there is no radiation problem. If you keep it open, if you keep the stub open, then there may be radiation problem. So short is generally preferred compared to open. Now in this double stub matching, you see these are the two stubs which are connected. Now the the, the, the position of the two stubs is fixed, it does not change. For different load for matching different loads to transmission line, we need not change the position of the stubs. The stubs remain fixed in its place, only the length has to be changed. Length only we can change of both the stub and it is sufficient. Generally the distance between two stub is fixed. And as typically generally we take lambda by 8. So usually it is 1/8, 3/8 or 5/8 of a wavelength. This distance between two stub. And from the load end we can put at any arbitrary distance, there is no restriction, anywhere we can place it. Actually the idea for stub is that at the input of second stub, because this is the source end, this is the load end, so if the characteristic admittance of this stub is y0, then the input admittance at after connecting both the stub. No, suppose if we do not connect this second stub, only first stub is connected. So the length we will choose in such a way that at this point the input admittance will be y0 plus minus jb. It is y0 plus minus jb, so that after connecting the second stub, this imaginary part can be tuned out and we get only y0 as the input admittance after the second stub. So the main role played by is the length of the first stub and the length of the second stub. So it is the lengths which play the main role, and we can keep, and the positions are always fixed here. So this is the advantage of using double stub matching.